So, okay, we will study about your DM medication. A review for our DM medication. So basically, in our beta cell, in our basically in our beta cell, okay, our goal is papasukin ang ating glucose is papasukin ang ating glucose ang ating wait lang is papasukin ng ating glucose papunta sa loob so that it can be changed to your ATP for energy. Okay? However, it will not enter the beta cell if wala po tayong transport channel known as your GLUT1. If glucose is changed into ATP, what's this? Okay, if glucose is changed into your ATP, what's this? Sorry, na-distract. Okay, so basically, if glucose is changed into your ATP, then it will increase. It will increase, diba? And kapag nag-increase ang yung ATP, okay, it will affect other channels in the body, okay? Such as your potassium channel. Meron tayo ditong potassium channel. This potassium channel is ATP sensitive potassium channel. May isa ka pang channel which is your calcium, your voltage gated calcium channel. Kapag ganyan, when your ATP is increased, it will then bind to your potassium channel. It is ATP sensitive. If it increase, then your potassium channel will be activated. At rest, your potassium channel is open. Para siyang leak channel. But when stimulated, your potassium channel naman is closed. If your potassium channel is closed, then may ipon ang potassium mo inside. And potassium has a positive charge. When potassium has a positive charge and may ipon siya inside the beta cell, it will increase your depolarization. Magde-depolarize ang beta cell mo. Eventually, that depolarization will increase the positive charge of the beta cell that will later on activate your voltage-gated calcium channel. Diba? So, the calcium from the extracellular matrix will then influx. The calcium will influx towards the beta cell. And calcium also has a positive charge, which later on will lead to the exocytosis of your vesicle. This vesicle contains insulin and C-peptide. Kaya nga, pagka gaano kadami ang insulin mo, ganun din kadami ang C-peptide mo. Kasi hindi naman lalabas si insulin nang hindi nakakalabas si C-peptide. Para siyang dalawang presong nakakulong sa iyong vesicle. And once calcium has an influx in your beta cell, it will cause exocytosis of your vesicle, leading to release of insulin and C-peptide. Well, generally, that is due to your influx of glucose that created an influx or an increase in ATP, leading to stimulation of your potassium channel, causing it to close and accumulate potassium inside para po magkaroon ka ng depolarization at magkaroon ka ng increase in the positive charge, causing stimulation of your calcium channel for it to open. And mag-influx po ang iyong potassium. Ang iyong calcium. Pag nag-influx ang iyong calcium, magkakaroon ka ng stimulation of your vesicle to go out in the process of exocytosis to release insulin and C-peptide. Okay. However, there is another way for you to release insulin. And that another way is via the function of your GLP-1. Your GLP-1 will your GLP-1 naman, ganun din ang function. Ibahin natin ang huli. Ganun din ang function ni GLP-1. It wants to release your insulin and C-peptide. Paano? By your GLP-1 receptor. Diba? GLP-1 receptor. Kapag ang GLP mo ay nag-bind to your GLP-1 receptor, what will it do? Okay? It will cause, ganun din, potassium channel closing and your calcium channel opening. Same nung pinakita natin kanina. Eventually, what will happen? Depolarization? No, di pala. Yes, actually, depolarization kasi potassium will accumulate inside. Later on, leading to depolarization, increase in charge, opening of your voltage-gated channel, leading to influx of calcium para magkaroon ka ng iyong release of your vesicle to release your C-peptide. So, very good ang ating GLP. However, we need to take note that your GLP has a main kontrabida. Diba? GLP versus your dipeptidyl peptides, DPP-4. Your DPP-4. Eventually, nananalo si DPP-4, it breaks down your GLP-1. Kaya naman, konti lang yung nangyayari sa kanyang na effect. 'Di ba? Kasi natatanggal siya agad, na-eliminate siya agad. That's why we have our DPP-4 inhibitor. This DPP-4 inhibitor, it inhibits your DPP-4. At pagpatay na ang iyong DPP-4, no one will inhibit GLP-1. And GLP-1 can now cause potassium channel closing and calcium channel opening, causing calcium influx, causing exocytosis, of vesicle, leading to release of insulin and C-peptide. Okay. So, anong natin? GLP-1 agonist. Ang gamot natin para sa diabetes, i-promote si GLP-1 at i-decrease si DPP-4. So, dalawang DM na yan. So, GLP-1 agonist and DPP-4 inhibitor. So, check, and check. Okay, good. Next nating gamot would be your SGLT2. Your SGLT2. Okay, inhibitor. Ano ba tong SGLT2 inhibitor? That is a medication. So, paano ba natin malalaman ano naman ang ginagawa ng SGLT2 inhibitor? It comes down to your kidney. Okay, it comes down to your kidney. Because inside of your kidney, kidney ba? Wait lang. Nasaan nga ba ang iyong glomerulus? It's inside your kidney, di ba? Inside the nephron. It's inside your kidney. Sorry. It's inside your kidney. In your tubules. In your tubules. Kasi di ba, we have your PCT, we have your glomerulus, we have your Bowman's capsule, to the proximal convoluted tubule, to the after ng proximal convoluted tubule? Your loop of Henle, distal convoluting tubule, to your loop of Henle, to DCT, and your collecting tubules, no? In your PCT, okay, do-drawing natin po yan. Kasi in our tubules, di ba, ang katabi kasi ng tubules mo would be the blood vessel. It would be your blood vessel. Yan halos yung magkatabi. Okay, by means of filtration, okay, nandyan yung mga reabsorption and then going to the blood kasi your blood will deliver the nutrients, no? So, ang iyong mga electrolytes such as your sodium, okay, makikita mo yan sa iyong tubule, nasa ihi, no? Sodium, andyan ang iyong water kasi when there is sodium, there is always water. Tas ang iyong glucose, no? So, your SGLT2, okay, going back, your SGLT, okay, yung SGLT, wait lang, mali pa lang ang aking drawing. Ang SGLT mo is the connection of your tubule to the blood vessel para matransfer mo ang iyong sodium, water, and glucose towards the blood vessel, causing hypernatremia, okay, hypervolemia, kasi dumadami ang water mo at saka hyperglycemia. So, pag tinanong mo yon, this leads to DM. This leads to increased BP. Okay, which is fatal to heart. Fatal to the heart. At saka sa cardio mo. Diba? DM naman, fatal sa buong katawan. And that is because of your SGLT. Because of your SGLT. Okay? That is why you will now give your... That's the function of your SGLT2 inhibitor. You want... again. Ibay natin ang kulay. No, kaya? Let's go orange. Yan. That's why you want your SGLT2 because you want to inhibit this. You want to inhibit this para hindi niya matransfer ang sodium, ang iyong water at glucose. Ano mangyayari? It will decrease your sodium. It will decrease... hindi pala. Wait lang. Meron... sige, tama naman. It will decrease your water and it will decrease your glucose. Okay, pero ang hindi ko pala kanina na-explain ng maayos is yung isa pa niyang function, but siya rhinoprotective. Why does SGLT2 inhibitor is both rhinoprotective, it protects your kidney and cardio and cardioprotective. It is because, bakit nga? Okay, it comes back to the drawing kanina. No? It is because your SGLT2 prevents your transfer of sodium to the blood. It decreases sodium transfer to blood. Pag decrease ang sodium mo, decrease din ang water, at decrease ang glucose. In the blood. Okay, saan sila mapupunta? Itong mga to, matitira sila, stays in the urine. It stays in the urine. Okay, later explain ko anong mangyayari dyan. Pero dito muna, with this function of decreased sodium, decreased water, decreased glucose, anong mangyayari? It will all lead to decreased blood pressure. So with this decreased blood pressure, it will now result to decrease BP in the kidney and decrease hyperfiltration. Additionally, decreased BP leads to cardioprotective effect. Kaya lang, ang kanyang main effect would be, since the sodium, the water, and the glucose that is decreased in the blood will go to your urine, very prone si patient. Your patient is prone to UTI. Bakit? Marami kasing, increase kasi ang glucose in the urine. And maraming pagkain ng mga bakterya. So, very prone to UTI. At, syempre, kung increased glucose in the urine, the term is glucosuria.